Okay, just like in the previous lecture, and when you try to read, right, read underscore CSV, when you try to read the CSV file, make sure that you set the, set up your working directory, right? So in my case, this is a regression part 2. So I'm going to make this directory as my working directory, right? Click more and set as working directory, right? And you know that the bikes.csv file is in directory. So let's just load, just make sure that I have all the packages, right? Install, right? I'll say no. Okay, so once it's done, then I'm going to load this tidyverse, okay? And then make sure to read CSV file. And then let's look at the glimpse, look at the data file, right? And then summary, right? Okay, now the correlations, right? So this is like, covariance, right? So by the way, this is just review, right? Correlations for the rentals and humidity. So I said there's two ways to find this correlation, right? One way is to use the, just the COR, right? COR. And another way is just find the covariance of X and Y and find the standard deviation of X and standard deviation of Y. And then you can use these equations to come up with the correlations, right? The value, the Pearson correlations. Or another way it is, by the way, just this is review. Let's just quickly go over. And so the correlation between the humidity and the rental is what? It's the negative, 0.01. So this means negative relations, but means really weak, right? It's really low value. Maybe there's no relations. Okay, and the another way is, of course, you can simply use the core COR functions, right? Oops. Okay, so that's it, right? This is just review. Now, this is the one. So basically we like to try to get the model, right? The y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 multiplied by x, right? So there's to find this slope, the beta 1, we can use this, where is it? Hold on. We can use these equations, right? This one, the beta 1 is the covariance divided by variable, right? And so, yes, you can find the covariance, COV, and then you can divide it by variance. So we can use these equations. So the slope is 78, and the beta naught is, yes, the beta naught, oops. So beta naught is use this equation, right? So the mean value and beta 1 is from this previous command, multiplied by mean, right? So let's just run. Okay, so that's the beta naught, which is the intercept, y-intercept. Or we can simply use the LM functions, right? Oops. Okay, then yes, we can have a coefficients. Okay, now. So now we're gonna work on the multiple linear regression models, right? So we're gonna work on the multiple regression model. Okay, hold on. Okay, so when you try to find out the simple linear regression model, right? We know that we use LM, right? So this is the Y, rental is a Y, and then X is a temperature, right? So when you just run this, right? And then just type the bikes model 1, you know that it really simply shows the coefficients and then the beta naught, and this is what? This is a slope, right? Beta 1. Okay. But if you want to get more out of this, then you can use a function called summary, and when you run this, it shows the more detailed information about your model, right? So now in my next lecture, I'm going to talk about each of this each of these the values, right? So, like what it means by the residuals coefficients and this the residual standard error and multiple r squared. Actually, it's just simply just r squared and adjusted r squared, and then f statistics, right? And even for the intercept and temperature, it gives you the the t value and the p value, right? Okay. And before you move to the my next lecture, I already ask you to watch this video tutorial, right? There's 3 of them. The understanding, okay, actually the basic regressions, right? So I ask you to watch this, the first one, the basic regression, basic 1, the basic part 2, and then regression output explained, right? So especially so I assume that you watch this 3 video tutorial, okay? So in this video lecture number 2, the authors talk about degree of freedoms and r squared and adjusted r squared, right? And then in the lecture number 3, right, it explains about the these outputs, right? So I assume that you already watched this video tutorial, right? I already asked you, and then I think you already took even a quiz. Okay, so in my next lecture, I'm going to talk about the result, okay, in more detail. Thank you.